Hi! So my last video was about the delicious vegan options at Soulfood House, and that's all I was expecting to talk about, but I was so pleasantly surprised when LaTonya agreed to let me interview her, and when I got to hear about her backstory, and just some of the experiences that they've had here around Thanksgiving, them coming here as missionaries, and how the restaurant got started. Shortly after our conversation, LaTonya also spoke at Afro History Month. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the audio from the Diaspora event. I tried to record it on my phone, but for some reason the audio didn't go through. I can assure you, what she had to say was very, very moving. And I wish I could listen to it again, but I haven't figured out how. Is this your first time speaking at Black History Month?
For this one, yes. Diaspora, they contacted me about being one of the speakers to be able to share my story, being in business and how we came to be and what we started. It was very important. It's something that I'm already doing anyway because we started a foundation 2 years ago called Legacy Foundation Japan. And it's basically to be able to give voice to the African American community. It's about just telling our story, recognizing our history, accepting who we are, and loving who we are. Start our legacies, live out our legacies, and then just also preparing for the future legacies that are coming. One thing that's very, very important to me is that there are so many different stereotypes about, for example, African Americans, Africans, Jamaicans. They're just stereotypes on who we are. And I want to be able to address those. Every individual is different, so to be able to categorize one person and say this is who you are, a group of people, this is who you are, I want people to be able to recognize the individuals within that community. So that's the reason that I love talking.
I watched in amazement as she told more details about her story and how she kind of got stuck here. You came as missionaries to feed people? Was it always about food?
Well, that's actually a good twist on that because actually I was associate pastor, youth pastor at Chattahoochee Christian Church in Atlanta, Georgia. From there, when I was going to seminary with one of the Japanese pastors asked us to come to Japan. Him and his wife were like, oh, come to Japan, bring the kids. Let's do a mission trip. So we brought about 25 kids over. We didn't come back until 2 years later. Even though we did some fundraising, got things in line when we got here, there was some funky stuff that happened.
Customers helped them fundraise and finance what is now Soulfood House.
That end up having our mission status in jeopardy, so we contacted that same Japanese pastor, and he told us, he said, we don't have room or the funding to support missionaries right now. However, we will help you get settled. Best advice that I'll never forget, he was like, you know what? Just find your way to do ministry. And we know how to cook and we know how to sing. And so yes.
I love this slogan, taste the love.
Yes.
But did you ever have dreams before coming to Japan about starting your own restaurant? Has this always been in the background?
No, girl, please. Thing about mission work and being very zealous and just like, okay, let's open up a Christian cafe. Then when we moved here, my husband was doing an open mic in Shibuya. And he was like, oh, okay, let's open up a music cafe. You know, restaurant is just a little bit like,
Too much work.
Then I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant, I was like, ooh, I'm hungry. If you're having pregnancy, a good day, a bad day, need to celebrate something, you just need a taste of home. Thinking if I felt this way, how many other people felt this way? And it turned out to be a lot. Yeah.
So what is your go-to recipe that makes you feel most at home?
Catfish.
Oh, not only are they good cooks, not only did they come here as missionaries, but they also have started the Legacy Foundation.
So we have a lounge upstairs, and it's called Legacy Lounge. And so we have a worship service, but we actually started here. And he's a pastor from Yokota base. And so, so he comes in and just beautiful man. So please come.
When I saw that, I'm in. And I'm so blessed that I got to experience it firsthand and see one of my closest friends crying because she was just so moved. And then I started crying. And then, oh.
I was over there in the corner. I forgot we had service.
Okay. You got to trust him. Hallelujah. You got to trust him. Then he says, I'll fight your battle. Ready? I'll fight your battle. Yeah. Come on, we having church this morning. I'll fight your battle. Yes. I'll fight your battles if you trust in only him. Yeah.
Sometimes you have to hear that reminder that you need to trust him.
Yes.
Seem like, see, as believers, like, yeah, that's automatic. But the reality is sometimes life slaps us in the face.
Amen.
And we have a tendency of wanting to look for God and seem like he ain't there. Man. Let's take just a quick minute. If you can turn in John chapter 9. Verse 25.
Such a beautiful experience.
If you trust in only him. All of your battles. She need to hear that again. Ready, go. I'll fight your battles. Yeah. I'll fight your battles. I'll fight your battles if you only trust in him. If you only trust in him. I'll never leave you. I'll never leave you. I'll never leave you. I'll never, leave you. If only you trust him. If only you trust him.
But this place is, we always give it to God, and it belongs to him, and whatever is to take place is take place. So a taste of love is about the scripture, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good."
Seeing the community that LaTonya and David have built around them shows me that there is so much more to Soulfood House than just the food. Just connecting with them and their community has really brought me closer to Tokyo and made me feel like I'm not alone here anymore. Thank you, Soulfood House, for bringing a bit more soul here in Japan. We really needed it. So I just want to say thank you all for watching. If you haven't been yet, you definitely have to go to Soulfood House, whether it's for the food, the soul, or to just taste the love. I highly recommend it. And if you can, try to get lost in conversation because you're gonna meet some incredible people there. じゃあ、またね。いただきます。